Welcome to the garage, everybody, and the Z31 300ZX Turbo project. And today, I'm going to be tackling the side molding delete and also dealing with the seals that go between the side skirts and the body. Trying to renew those and get the side skirts back on the car. Let's go and see how that all goes. Alright, so we're cracking on with the exterior work now on the 300ZX Turbo. Because the back bumper's been done and painted and all that. The tail lights, there's a video on that. Rear spoiler's still got to be sorted in some way. All the trim around the windows and that has all been refinished. It's a turbo, so it's black, so that's all been refinished. So we're just working our way through now. What I want to work on now are the side moldings, and there's some trim here around the wheel arch I want to get off. All right, so somebody has put this sort of half round plastic trim, and I'm 90% sure that is not factory. I don't like it there at all. Because it's black, it just makes that wheel arch look even bigger. So I want to try and get that off, and then see what we're going to do with these body side moldings here. And then side skirts we've got to get off to do something about the seal that's all falling apart in there. So I'm going to crack on with this first. What I'm doing, I've got some very strong nylon thread, a waxed nylon thread here. And I'm going to put a little heat to this, just with a hairdryer, and I'm going to try and work the thread underneath and see if we can move that along and get this off, hopefully without damaging any paint. Right, looks to be working. So we're just going to carry on applying heat and then work this around, and then we'll take the polishing wheel rather, and we'll polish it out, see what it looks like. All right, I got that off. All right, so with a bit of gooby gone, we're wiping. They've cleaned up really nice there. So I got back to the normal factory wheel arches. Look so much better. So I want to look at these now. I don't like them, even if they were in good condition. I'm not a fan, but they're all cracking. I don't know what happened to the insert. No idea. But I'm going to see if they'll come off and then clean up well enough underneath. I know the one at the back, there is a hole there that has to be done. I'm hoping there's no holes under all these. Anyway, I'm going to use basically the same approach. Going to heat them up, use the nylon string, and see if I can work my way through and get them off. I believe they're held on just with adhesive. Let's see. Have the old thing off, so we'll try some Gooby Gun on that, and then we'll see what that looks like. Hopefully it's going to clean up nice. Alright, so wipe down with the Gooby Gun and a little isopropyl alcohol there, and it's about 95% cleaned up now. Gonna have to use the polishing wheel there to finish it up, but you can see how much cleaner this looks without that chunky big molding there. It's just so much cleaner a line on the car. So that one came off with no nothing but adhesive. I'm hoping this is the same. So we'll crack on with this. And then the back one, like I said, I know there's a hole there that isn't actually used with our moldings, but it's there and I'm gonna have to deal with it. So we'll get the rest of these off. Same way, string, bit like using dental floss. And the nice thing is you're not sticking any kind of pry tools down here, so you're not damaging the paint at all. So. Alright, that's 2 down, 1 to go on this side. This one's been siliconed back on, so I don't know, it might be a little messier to get off. Silicone doesn't come off easy, but we'll try the same process. Alright, here we go. You can see the 2 holes that are left just in this one place. I'm not sure what they're for. They certainly weren't for the molding, but I do know that I've seen vehicles where there's a piece of plastic here with like vents in. I don't know if that's what that's for, but anyway, we'll have to fill those in, put some metal in there, fill those in, paint that, blend in some paint here, so we'll get that done too. All right, so body side moldings, delete, pretty much done. Got those holes to deal with, but we'll do that. I'm gonna move on now to taking the side skirts off here because I want to deal with the seal or the isolator between the skirt and the body that's deteriorated on these. Okay, so 86 side skirts. As you can see, this gasket or seal that was between the body here is, I don't know if it's just dropped in here or it's broken. It's hard, very, very hard. It seems to have broken here because this is a very sharp edge. And it's gone there. So I want to take this off. I think while it's off, I'm probably going to refinish it because there's some scuff marks. There's a little bit of a crack here. So we'll probably just do that and we'll paint that at the same time we deal with those holes on the back, where the back molding was. Anyway, there are four screws under here that go up into the rocker. I don't know how well they're going to come off. I mean, everything else has come off great on this car, but probably asking a lot that they're going to come off. So anyway, gonna have a go at those 4. Looks like a Phillips, and we'll see if we can get those out. Okay. All right, well, not the prettiest looking fastener in the world by any means, but surprisingly it came out. So that's 1, that's 25%. We'll see how the other 3 go. That's just, hey, that's number 3. I am surprised. 1 more to go. All right, look at that. All 4 of them came out. Okay, so There's what looks to be a stud with a nut on it that comes through up here into the wheel arch. I'm going to attempt to get that off. I'll be surprised if it doesn't break, but we'll try it. I've jacked it up, jack stand of course, taken the wheel off just to make my life easier. You might be able to reach it without doing this, but I'm just going to make my life easy, so take the wheel off and let's see if we can get that. Okay, we have something holding it at the front now. Okay, so completely winging it here because I haven't been able to find any info on taking these off at all, but my guess is there's a fastener much like the one that went into the wheel arch there under here going in behind this wheel arch shield there, and if I was going to hazard a guess, I would guess it's where this crack is. So I'm going to jack it up, take this wheel off, take the wheel arch liner out, and see if I can see in there, and hopefully I can see a fastener that comes through into that, and that should be the last one to release that. Okay, so wheel off, mud flap released. I got one bolt there that's putting up a fight, but it's rotated around out of the way. I've got the screws out and lifted the fender liner out, and you can see right there is I believe is the last fastener, so it should be a 10 mil socket again. We'll see if we can get that loose, and hopefully this comes off. In the meantime, I have put just a scissor jack underneath so it doesn't end up dropping and breaking something, so hopefully that'll help support it. Okay, so that fastener's out now. Just sitting on the jack stand, or the scissor jack rather, which seems to have worked well. There we go. And it's certainly nice to see that it's all solid and there's no rust under there. That's epic. All right, so welding all done, ground that down, light skim of filler. We've prepped just a couple of little spot primes there. So I've scuffed it with 600 grit wet sandpaper. So what I'm going to do now is blend, and I'm going to blend basically here, and then try and just blend it up here and down to about here with the white, same color as this bumper. So we'll blend that in, base coat clear, and then we'll do a cut and polish on it. And hopefully you'll never know those moldings were there. All right, so here we are a few days later. Gotten the side skirts painted, clear coated, cut and polish on them. So they're ready to go back on now. And I've cleaned up all under where the skirt goes to the bottom of the rockers there. I mean, no one will ever see it, but I know it's clean, and you know, it's absolutely 100% rust free under there. It's pretty amazing. So we're getting ready to put them back on. If you recall earlier when we took them off, the seal was, you know, done. So I purchased this seal, I think Etsy, I never pronounce it right, but anyway, that place. I've got this, it's white, it's very flexible, and I think it's got a double-sided tape here, so it should tape under here and hopefully seal up to the body. I've cleaned all the back where the tape will be. I've degreased it and everything else and sanded it, so hopefully it's clean enough that I'll get some adhesion. So long as it adheres enough till I get it in place, that's all I need. So we're going to put that on, and then we'll start to put fasteners back in. Alright, that is the seal basically on, and it's not sticking super good, but I think it's going to stick enough to hold it in place till I get it on the car. Okay, so it's in place just with the fastener here and the fastener from the wheel arch there, but you can see where it starts to snug up. How nice this is sealing up here. I mean, none of the fasteners in the middle are in yet, so I'm just going to work on those. But where it is sort of getting snugged up, it seems to have sealed up nice. It looks much, much, much better. So we'll just work on the fasteners underneath now. I like taking it off. I just use the scissor jack as my extra pair of hands, because like pretty much every project out here, I do it on my own. So the scissor jack helped hold it in place there. So we'll get the rest of the fasteners in. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, here we are, done. Got the other mud flap back in. They're all restored as well. The seal is, to me, the seal looks pretty much like factory. The white's that's an amazingly good color. Amazingly close to the actual color of the car. And we've also got everything finished up here where the two holes were. So you can see pretty much invisible repair that is now. It blended up. I blended it up here, and you really cannot tell that there was anything there before. And again, yeah, got the rear mud flaps all done. We've done a cut and polish on all the paint work out here now. So the exterior is coming along very nicely now. All right, there's another couple of jobs on the exterior renovation done. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you checking out the video and the channel. And I'm hoping there was something there that was helpful if you're going to be tackling either of those projects on your Z31. As always, as I always say, a like, a subscribe, much appreciated for the channel. And I hope you check back, because we're going to continue the restoration on the exterior, and we've got a few interior things still to tackle as well. So we're not done yet. You drive safe out there, everybody. Have a great day, and I hope I see you back here in the garage.